Welcome to our press review. Florence Vimeno, good morning. We're going to begin with a piece by the Iranian President Hassan Rohani in the Washington Post.
That's right. Last week it was Putin in the New York Times. This week it's Rohani in the Washington Post. Now, he urges Western leaders in this piece to seize the opportunity presented by his election to engage Iran in what he calls constructive dialogue. And this piece really appears to be Rouhani's latest signal that he wants to have some sort of a thaw in relations with the U.S. and other Western nations.
Now, the article was published, of course, ahead of the UN General Assembly meeting next week, where a meeting between the presidents of Iran and the United States might take place.
That's right. And according to The Guardian, this piece and other signals show that Rouhani really wants to lead a new Iran onto the international stage at this UN meeting. Now, yesterday he gave an interview with NBC's Ann Curry saying, we want people to be completely free in private life, so another signal of change. And The Guardian takes a closer look at all these real changes to Iran that Rouhani has brought since his election. They call this Rouhani's coups. Like, you see this woman here, her name is Shirin Jarami. She was the first woman to participate in a triathlon. That was in London last week. But Rouhani has also released a string of political prisoners, including Nasrin Sotoudeh. So according to The Guardian, these are more than enough signs that Iran really wants to break the stalemate with the West over the nuclear program. And this is an opportunity really that should be seized, according to The Guardian in their editorial today. This is an opportunity to take relations with Iran out of what they call a death spiral, and it should be seized.
And yet, Florence, not all newspapers see recent events in such a positive light.
That's right. This is a piece in Asharq al-Awsat, so a pan-Arab paper that's based in London. That's a warning, actually, to Obama not to extend a hand. And it says that pursuing any kind of diplomatic approach of openness or testing Iran here, this will ultimately do no good, because according to this piece, Iran's policy really hasn't changed since the revolution. It continues to pursue a very aggressive foreign policy that's only goal is to promote its interests.
Now, moving on, Florence, to other news. The international papers, of course, also focusing on Sunday's elections in Germany.
That's right. It's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal today that points out that Merkel is urged to act faster if she's re-elected. And the Wall Street Journal says she may be Europe's most popular leader, but there are increasing calls from business leaders in Germany for her to really confront some of Germany's simmering domestic problems. And those include, of course, Germany's aging population. Now, as for her opponent, the Social Democrat Peer Steinbrück, the Independent takes a look at his campaign so far and points out that a lot of people have said that it's been somewhat of a poorly led campaign, somewhat of a train wreck, actually. They pull out this photo there that was on the front page of a magazine where you see him flipping the bird. Now, this was meant to be a campaign stunt, but it turned out to be somewhat of a catastrophe, and a lot of, according to the Independent, voters seem likely to give him the finger at the ballot.
Well, I think someone should be getting rid of his communications advisor. So finally, we're going to turn to the Pope and his first extensive interview in his 6-month-old papacy.
That's right. Now, this is a very blunt interview, actually, that's quite surprising, and it was released simultaneously in several Jesuit papers, including America. Now, this is a very surprising interview. He says that the church is obsessed with preaching about abortion, gay marriage, etc., and he calls for real changes in the church.
Florence Vimeno, thank you very much indeed. That was a look at the international newspapers. 27 minutes past 9 here in Paris. Do stay with us. I'll be back in a couple of minutes with the very latest headlines. In Focus, we'll also be looking at the economic challenges there in Germany as the country heads to the polls. That's coming up in just a moment.